Yodel dodel.
Yodel dodel.
We are back.
Okay.
And in charge. And got it figured out. We got about 10 to 12 new people who just joined us.
And maybe you can see us.
Hey, yeah.
Maybe you can hear us.
Whoop-de-woo.
Wonderful.
All right. For everyone that just joined us, real quick recap. We gave everyone else all the keys and secrets to swimming. We went through from top to bottom, everything they need to do to be the best triathlete and person ever, and how to make millions of dollars. If you'd like to find out information, you can watch the recording or just send us $4.82 in a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll be good to go. Okay. And we'll write you back the secrets from the Postal Service.
All right. So in an effort to make sure that everybody is on the same page, we're going to start at the top in terms of swimming.
From swimming.
What we're going to, my name's Andy. This is Daniel. We make up AP Racing along with a few other key players. But we're going to go through swimming and let's talk about the 3 tips.
Okay. So we asked Andy, everyone else was in the meeting before, what are the 3 things? Well, we said 2 things.
Yes.
That are critical for every swimmer from the beginner to the pro and what they need to know about swimming. The two tips. And Andy said,
I think there's actually 3.
What?
Yeah. So I started out, and I've been professing this for a long time. It's always been about breathing and balance. Well, I'm adding another one, and we're calling it timing. Okay.
BBT.
So,
it's almost like a bank.
There's 3 aspects to it. What makes breathing unique is you're in an environment where you can't breathe when you want to breathe. And it's unique. If you didn't grow up and it's not innate, it's something that is learned. But, with my experience, having learned it at such a young age, it's second nature. Daniel taught himself how to swim proficiently at a older age, and breathing
is not natural, or wasn't natural.
Yeah. But have you taught yourself that it is?
Absolutely.
So
I feel like I could breathe underwater now.
So there's a chance for everybody, right? And we're coming at this from 2 different perspectives, if you missed it before. Mine is I grew up as a swimmer and swam for 18 years. And Daniel is late to the sport of swimming, and he taught himself how to swim.
Yeah.
So whether you fit in one box or another, hopefully that is a big box that everybody can fit in.
Yeah.
So
social distancing in that box, though, of course.
Of course.
Okay.
So when we talk about the 3 things, balance, breathing, and timing, with breathing, what I'd really like you to work on is that neutral head position. Neutral head means, you're not pulling your chin away from your chest, and you're not tucking your chin to your chest. You're not cocking it to one side or the other. It's just nice neutral, as you were having a conversation with a friend. You want to be exhaling when your face is in the water, inhaling as you rotate to the side. And with breathing and a lot of forward momentum and forward propulsion, you end up creating a bow wake with the crown of your head as you swim. And just like in a boat, there's the bow wake. And if you sit in the bow wake, it's a great place to draft. But if you sit in the bow wake, you'll notice that there's a pocket of air.
Yeah.
That same thing, the same phenomenon happens as swimming. So as the bow wake comes off the crown of your head, you rotate to breathe. There's a pocket right here. And you just suck in the air.
Show them from the front what your mouth looks like.
And you'll turn your face so it's actually, you're trying to grab as much air that's there, but I'm not pulling my chin away from my chest and getting reachy and grabby. What happens when you get reachy and grabby with your breath is the head pulls away from the chest, and then your hips will sink.
Yes.
And then you start swimming uphill. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the part with breathing that's super tricky. People don't trust the fact that there is the pocket there.
You mentioned something I think might have went over some people's heads, including mine. You said you breathe out when you're under the water?
Yes.
Why do you do that?
So I don't have a lot of time to suck in as much O2 as possible
Okay.
when I'm rotating to breathe. It's not like I'm sitting there and having a tea party.
So you're not just laying out on that arm, stretching out.
No,
We'll get into that.
and it's part of the swim stroke, right? So there's the rhythm to it. And if you slow your rhythm down just to breathe, then it becomes awkward. And there's a pause in it. And that pause can slow you down. So I'll exhale, bubbles when your face is in, rotate, and breathe when your face is out.
So we might be going a
It's
little
a pretty simple
we might be going a
concept.
little deeper than you want right here. But is it like a slow or is it like a really hard when you're
Both.
Okay.
Depends on how fast you're going and how hard you're trying.
Okay.
The faster you go, the more violent the exhale is.
Okay.
As humans, the autonomic system has the ability to always inhale.
Okay.
Okay, you're always going to inhale. You don't need to worry about inhaling. And what I like to tell myself is I will force the exhale to help move more oxygen and empty more of the lungs, so I'm filling more of the lungs.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll get the shallow breathing where it's not a full exhale, and so therefore it won't be a full inhale. Sometimes my breathing will become so labored that it's audible. And you do the same thing, I've noticed.
I always am audible when I breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Is there a reason behind that?
Because just like you're talking about timing and rhythm, my timing comes from my breath. And so I give a big out and a big in, and it helps me with my timing of my swim stroke.
Breathing tied in to timing. Very crucial.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's a good segue.
100%.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter. It has more to do on your effort than in terms of the exhale. So it could be a slow, deliberate, and it's always loose jowls, right? You're always loose and relaxed. Those are your fastest ways to swim. Really loose, fluid, that type of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we should take it to the tape. We've talked about breathing.
Yep.
I think I want to get into what? Balance a little bit now?
Yeah, let's talk about balance as we watch the video. And you'll notice that there's 3 parts of the stroke that we're looking for. I'm looking at the top third, the middle third, and the back third. The back third actually has the least amount of propulsion that happens in the swim stroke. And the most important real estate is the top swim stroke, or the top third of the swim stroke. So this is me on my side. I'm on my left-hand side. And I'm just kicking on my side. The kick isn't overwhelming. This drill is not about kicking. Can you pause it for me?
Absolutely.
Okay, you'll notice, where are my eyes? My eyes are pointed about, it's not directly down, maybe 10 degrees tilt, right? Notice where the water is hitting my head. It's at the top or near the back of my head. My chin is in a neutral position in relation to my chest. And you'll notice that if my left arm is in the water, it's my right hip. The height of my right hip is close to the surface. And you'll notice that my right arm is kind of tucked behind my bum a little bit.
Can I ask you a question? If you had to critique your position in this split second of a moment, what would you say about it?
This position right here.
Yeah. Is there any negatives to it?
I think I would like to have my left shoulder a little bit further down. You'll notice how my left hip has a lot of depth to it in relation to the surface of the water, the left hip.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
That's what I meant.
See how the deep it gets? See how my right shoulder is kind of high? My right shoulder is completely out of the water. You can't see it, but my left shoulder isn't quite deep enough. I think I would like to have the relationship between my left shoulder and my left hip have the same amount of depth in the water.
That's pretty good. And for kick, you said it's a light, easy kick. Are we kicking from below the knee, above the knee? How do we kick?
I like to start my kick actually at my abdomen. I flow through the core, and it's a really a loose action. You can see how big the kick action is, and it's a 2-way action kick. You want to pause it for me? Not only am I grabbing water with the top of my foot, but I'm grabbing it with the bottom. So it's an engagement and it has fluidity, just like a dolphin would, right?
Oh, yeah.
A dolphin fin, you're getting a 2-way action on the surface. So when you're swimming, a lot like cycling.
Okay.
When the pedal comes around, what do?
Unweight it.
Well, you push it down.
Yeah. Oh, push it down. When
Right.
it comes around that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes over the top, pedal comes around.
Yeah. Push it down.
Push it down. Pedal comes around.
Push it down.
And that's what our natural tendency to do. When we work on a cycling stroke, we want to work on
Up.
more pulling. less pushing.
Yep.
Right. And so it's a little bit more circular and fluid. Same thing with a kick. Instead of having it just be a one-way action, only down, only down, only down, you can actually get a more fluid. And if you look at nature and how our animals are really great at like humans, are actually very slow in the water.
Oh, really?
When you look at a fish, have you ever tried to catch a fish?
Yeah, they're pretty quick.
They're awesome,
Yeah.
right? So we can learn something from them. And they have a two-way action, okay, on the kick. It's not overwhelming. It's just I'm working on balance. It's not necessarily for kicking. All right, this is the other side. I'm actually more comfortable on this side. You'll notice the height of my hand is about maybe, it'll toggle between it's about 4 to 6 inches below the surface of the water. And right shoulder is further down. Do you see how my right shoulder is has further depth?
And what's the saying I just made up? What's the saying I just made up that you wouldn't know I made up because it was in my head? Hand that's up high, keep it, or arm that's up high, keep it
dry.
Hey, we finish each other's sandwiches.
I don't like this position at all.
No, it's pretty bad. We'll move forward.
Yeah. Okay. There. I like that a lot better.
Okay.
So my palm is down. Palm is towards the bottom of the pool or lake or whatever it may be. And then as I pull through, you'll notice that the palm will always face the back or my feet. Okay. So I think the key here. Okay, go ahead and pause. This is with fins, and you'll see that with fins, there's more propulsion, and there's greater. I sit higher on the water, but the relationship in terms of my head and chin and my chest is, look at the bubbles I've got blowing.
Those are good bubbles.
Good bubbles. I'm driving this. The position is the same. I'm just feeling the water on the top third of the stroke a lot better, and you'll notice the height of my hand is closer to the surface of the water with fins.
Okay, I got 2 things real quick.
Okay.
Quick timeout. Rob Gibbons, stop biting your nails. Your wife, get off your phone. Cool. Thank you. More importantly, Andy, you're doing it with this fins. Isn't fins like copping out?
No.
Okay, so why is it not copping out? Should people use fins?
Okay, so I love toys. I think toys, if it means I only want to swim with fins versus not swimming at all, please use fins. Yeah. Go swim.
So what do fins do for you when you're drilling and when you're swimming?
I think the biggest thing the fins add for me is they elevate the things that sink the most, and those are my legs. Right. Yeah. So my hips and my upper thighs, they just, if the heavier I get and as the workload progresses, I will sit lower and lower in the water, and it just becomes an uphill fight, upriver swim. With fins, I'm able to elevate. And can you put the camera on me, or are they only seeing this picture?
They're seeing both.
Okay, great. So with fins, I actually go from maybe uphill to horizontal to downhill swimming, and I get the hips out of the way.
Yeah. So the way I think about it is whether it's swimming, I don't know, skiing, riding a bicycle, the faster you go, the easier it is to maneuver and do things.
Oh, right.
So like when you're swimming, the faster you go, the higher, like you said, the higher you get up on the water, the easier it is to get from side to side and rotate. So fins help you go faster to get higher, which is exactly what you said. I just wanted to say it again a different way.
Sure. Yeah, you'll notice it in other sports as well. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. And you'll see even in this picture, we fast forwarded, but we looked at it. We're still blowing out when the face is in. All right, and this is the above water position. You'll notice the kick again, not overwhelming. The arm that's facing the sky is
dry.
Is that what you said it was?
Yeah.
You'll notice the head position. It's the water still hitting the crown of my head. It's not at my goggle level. The hand is searching for still water up above, but I'm always close to the surface of the water. This drill, not necessarily pretty, but it helps you with your balance in the water, because as we progress and we start to add elements of swimming, when you have good balance, it only can help you with forward propulsion. When you have bad balance in the water, whether you sink or you're lopsided or you don't have the timing, it can to add in the extremities, whether that's your arms or your legs. it will complicate the matters. But if you can center through your core,
Yeah.
have good balance and positioning on top of the water, then you use your arms and your legs to go forward fast, as opposed to using your arms and legs to balance and also try to go forward.
All right. So listen, everyone here are they're like great athletes
Sure.
and great swimmers. How much kicking on their side or kicking like this should they be practicing? I mean, how much do you do?
So I like to use it as a progression, and it's a activation drill for me.
Okay.
And I use that as like a primer. So I'll warm up, get my body warm.
Okay.
And then I will do an activation set to make sure everything is firing and like the small things that you can't really, imperceptible,
Yeah.
but totally necessary,
Okay.
are firing. So I'll do it as a preset to the preset that goes to the main set.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of a preset.
Gotcha.
It'll be kick on side. It'll be one arm drill. It'll be pretty swimming. And then we get after it.
Yeah.
Like a 225s.
Yeah. So the way I think about it is like, well, I don't think about it, but I find ourselves doing the same thing a lot, funny enough. And you do it before, but I noticed that myself and you, we'll spend like at the end of a practice, we'll swim like 1,000 with fins doing this drill and do a progression of this drill.
Because we're worried about putting in the work. Am I here to work? I'm here to work hard. And
Yeah.
I got it. If I'm wasting my time with drills, it becomes pointless. And
Yeah.
I wasted my time here and I didn't get anything out of it. I want to work hard, Daniel.
Yeah, but you should work smart too, Andy.
100%.
All right.
So that's why I actually love to finish a workout
Yeah.
when I'm tired.
Yes.
Harder to put your body in that right position, but also fully activated.
Yeah.
And fully got all that blood flow, all that heart and muscle
Yeah.
fatigue.
I mean, this is a kind of aside, but I was thinking about this the other day when I was in the pool. There's years that go by that I know that you and I do almost the same warm up and the same cool down. We give people millions of workouts,
Oh yeah.
but we pretty much do the same cool down every day.
I have like a go-to.
Yeah,
a
warm up
go-to.
and cool down.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be rocket science, I guess is what I'm getting to, right? So like kick on the side, like, oh guys, come on, we're starting at the beginning here. It always goes back to this.
Sure.
And every day goes back to it for us. So don't be above it is what I'm saying.
And
Is
if
that
you're
fair?
having trouble with kick on your side, you can definitely throw on fins. And if you're having trouble feeling the water up front for the top third of the stroke, where we're trying to anchor and put our hand in the best position to move have our body move past our hand, you can always use paddles. Paddles will give you a better push on the water. So you should be able to feel the pressure on the bottom of your hand, even through the paddle, when your hand rises up closer to the surface versus down. And you can feel the pressure as it'll come onto the top of the hand and want to push your hand down, and you'll fight to keep it up. So you want to kind of search for it a little bit. You can do a little sculling out front, and then boom, you find the position that you need, because our paddle is where when we swim.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Where's our paddle?
Our paddle.
It's from our elbow to our tip of our fingers.
Yes. It helps to have big hands.
Yeah.
Big hands mean big paddle.
Yeah.
Right?
High five.
High five. High five. Okay. So our paddle is actually elbow to the fingertips. And if we turn our hands side to side or this way, we're breaking our paddle. What we're really looking for up front for that top third of the stroke is the ability to get on top of the water, articulate our shoulder towards our earlobe.
You're getting ahead of ourselves here. It's really good though.
And feel in the water for that top third so we can swim past our hand.
Okay.
And we're going to see that as we develop pass kick on our side into one arm swimming. And one arm swimming can be difficult.
Before we go to one arm swimming, can I rein it in for a second and ask a question?
Yeah.
All right. We talked about a lot of different things: hand position, paddle, keeping our arm dry. Give people the top 3 things they should think of when they're kicking on their side. People love lists.
People love lists. My lists are forever long. I can give you 3 things.
Yes.
Are they the 3 top things? No, kind of everything's
Just
at the
tell
top.
them it's your top. Let's go.
Okay. So what to work on, kick on your side. I'd like to see the hand be within 6 inches of the top of the water.
Okay.
If your hand is pulling more than 8 inches, more than half of a foot below the surface of the water, it tells me that when your hand enters the water as a swimmer, you're going to miss all that real estate up front. You're going to miss about a foot of real estate every stroke. And when we're taking thousands of strokes, we're losing thousands of feet of real estate.
Okay, so number one is hand 6 inches from the top.
Okay.
All right.
Number two is a neutral head position.
Neutral head. Okay.
Okay. And number three is trying to push that hip. So if your right hand is in the water, you want to try to keep that left hip. How do we keep it in line with our shoulder and high on the water at the surface?
Okay.
I think about all these things.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah.
But those are three good ones.
Yeah. Oh, on the hand position thing, where is people's weight? Like, should they be pushing? Like, I think about pushing on my shoulder here and pushing my shoulder down into the water. Is that something they should be doing?
Yeah. So I push everywhere. I will push on my paddle, and then it's like, okay, I think I've got it. Now I'm pushing on my chest. Oh, wait, did I lose my paddle?
Okay.
Oh, where are my hips? Up, bring my hips up. Wait, there's my paddle. Where's my head? Push at the chest.
Okay.
Where are my feet? And my kick. So it's this cycle that runs through and through and through. But if you know the right position you need to be in the water, or when you're doing this drill, then you can, when you focus on one thing, you can, it's like meditation in a way. Okay. It's really hard to stay focused on one set thing all the time, and it will constantly rotate for me.
Okay.
It's constant.
All right. So to recap, it was hand 6 inches.
Hand height.
Hand height 6 inches close to the surface. 2
hip height.
Yeah. Hip. No, that was 3, but fine.
Okay.
2 neutral head position.
Yep.
3 is hip height and alignment. Cool. So if we're doing kick on the side, we're feeling confident. What's the next thing? You want to take it to the tape? And see what the next thing is that people would want to do. The next progression in our drill.
All right, now is when you start to add the single arm. All right.
Okay.
So this is an overhead position, and you'll notice that I'm trying not to sink in the water. As soon as right here, I have no grasp on the water. You'll notice that the hand that I'm not using is at my side, and the hand that I am using is in recovery.
So when you say you have no grasp on the water, it means you have no arms in front.
No arms in front. I'm not holding the water. I should be sinking, but I'm not, because I have a little bit of forward propulsion with the stroke that I just took, and a little bit of kick just to keep me moving and just to keep me on top of the water.
Okay.
And you'll notice here, look at how the right shoulder and the right hip have great depth, and the left shoulder all the way out of the water, as well as the left hip. Driving it, good rotation. And this is not a breathing drill where it's hypoxic. This is a breathing drill where you breathe every stroke.
Oh, speaking of which, when you do this
is with fins.
When you do this, should you breathe to the side of your stroke, or should you breathe to the opposite side?
Yeah, we're definitely breathing away from the stroke, the hand you use. Okay, you'll see here. Give me a pause up top.
I'll do that. We'll go back.
Go back one more.
One more.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm breathing every stroke, action at the kick, and you can see I'm breathing away from the arm I'm using. And there's that funny face I make every time I breathe.
Popeye face.
There you go. Yeah. There
Popeye face.
Yeah, it's Popeye. I got a little corncob pipe in my.
So
that's Frosty.
Yeah, same. Tomato. So you're stroking with your left hand.
Yep.
But you're breathing to your right.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. And you'll notice I'm trying to hold water up top. Give me a pause right here. All right. So as my left hand enters the water, you'll notice I'm trying to keep the paddle having force on the water or anchoring position. And I'm trying to move my body past my hand. Give me just a slight click for it. Boom, boom. A little more. Oh, keep doing that. That's good. Yeah. So you'll notice my hand stays laid out. I'm still laying out on the side. This is the time to breathe. And okay, now I'm starting to grab. You'll notice that it's hard to tell in this position because we're above the water, but you'll see that my elbow is still above my hand, and I'm not pulling back by leading with the elbow. I'm actually trying to press with the palm of my hand and my whole paddle and having it get it in the right position as in terms of having it face my feet.
So one of the things I think we always say, Camp, and you said it like the first year, it's like fingertips down.
Yeah.
And fingers below wrist below elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Concur.
All right. You heard it here first. Finger below wrist, wrist below elbow. Okay. So in this drill, right, we're talking about balance because you're on our side. Are we doing, is it a timing drill too?
100%.
Okay.
It's timing in terms of the hips and the shoulders, right?
Okay. So talk about that.
Okay, look here. So you can see I do have a lot of depth to my hand. You'll see how far away it gets from my center of mass. You'll notice that the elbow also is not nearly as high to the surface of the water, but I'm not leading with the elbow. And what you'll notice here is you can see a good clean grasp of the water right here. And this is when I'm starting to flatten out and actually change sides. So my right hip and shoulder are going to drive due south towards the bottom of the pool as my left hip and gets out of the way of my hand because my hand has the right of way. Now you can see my whole back, my whole bum, my whole shoulder. So you can see that I'm using my tummy to rotate through to the side. I'm not swimming on my tummy, using my arms as a way to just kind of spin forward. I'm rotating forward, similar to, like, again, you look at nature, when you look at things rotating through water, they can actually propel faster than things that are static.
And so this is where Andy and my great debate comes up. And so,
did you see the head position? The head position again. I'm looking down, about 10 degrees, and then also I don't have to be looking up directly or directly chucking my chin down. This is a nice position to be in, even without a ton of forward propulsion, and I'm able to get into it again because what we talked about before with fins.
Yeah, and so fins for this drill, if you're just doing it for the first time, best thing ever. You should absolutely do it.
Do you need to lift her?
No. We're good. All right. So,
this is a 3-3.
Are we going to go 3-3? Sure.
This is 3-3-3 drilled, where we breathe 3 on our right, 3 on our left, and then, or 3 on our right, 3 together, 3 on our left, 3 together, 3 on our right. So if you have a long course pool or an open water, you just do 3 on one side, then you transition with 3 complete strokes. There it is. And then you go back to the other side. And this is starting to get you into the right progression of how to put kicking on your side and single arm swimming together. So if you want to go back to
I actually want to show one thing real quick. Let's see if I can get to it. It was on this one right here. Wait. Look at that. So Andy talked about that before. Do you see again how his elbow is above his hand?
Oh yeah, that's a good position.
It's a really good position.
Yep.
Normally when you're swimming and it wasn't doing a drill, this elbow would be way closer to the surface of the water.
Yeah, in full force swimming.
In full force swimming.
And you also notice how far away my feet are from each other. It's not this super narrow kick. It's okay to have a wider kick, and the wider kick will help you with balance. A narrower kick can help you with some propulsion and balance. But if you need balance, specifically in a drill like this, where you're starting to fall because you don't have a lot of propulsion, you're gonna need a wider kick to stay balanced. And we use whatever's happening on the top half of the body, the bottom half can use to balance it. Same with what's happening underwater, the top half can balance it.
Exactly. So we got something else here. Oh, you want to put it together for him?
Sure. That is further along.
Okay.
Here you go. 253.
Yeah.
257.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Do you have the timer?
Yeah. I got
257.
Got it. So we're going forward. We're going to put it all together for you.
And we're going to go over all these drills as the seminar progresses next week and the week after. This is putting it together. I don't like what I do with my left hand. You see how it kind of surfs up a little bit. My right hand gets into a quicker position faster. But if we go back and pause it underwater, I really like what I'm doing when my right hand enters the water. Boom, it'll get into a really aggressive position where I want to start to articulate that elbow up now. Oh, you saw it though, right?
I saw it.
It was there. It was quick.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
Right there. You see how the elbow stays nice and high? Boom. And on the left side, it does the same. But the overhead view gives a nice picture of where my hands are. Give me a pause now. Yeah. See how both hands are in front of my head? You're not able to get into this position, obviously, when you're doing single arm drill because that one arm is at your side.
Absolutely.
But this is a good picture of good swimming when you can have a stroke be paused at any moment and both hands are ahead of your head.
Yeah. Why is that?
I think it shows that you're really holding water nicely, and you can still have a fast tempo with this because that's a big difference between pool swimming and open water swimming.
Okay. What is it?
The timing has to be high.
Okay.
The tempo is high.
Why is that?
Because you don't have the opportunity to reset every wall. And you also have moving and altering conditions, whether that be light, current, moving water, wind, bodies nearby, moving area, and things near you. In a pool, you've got your own lane in a racing environment.
Yeah.
It's totally different in a
all right. I might be jumping ahead now, like 10 steps, but you just talked about timing and tempo, and then you talked about how it has to be faster in the pool, in open water.
Yeah.
How can someone work on tempo in open water?
That's a good question. You want to have the tempo be bolstered by good technique.
Okay.
If you have high tempo, but you're leading with the elbow and you're slipping and you're not grasping the water out front and using the top third to your advantage of the stroke, it's all for naught. You're using a ton of energy to not help your cause.
Okay.
But how can you get better at higher tempo? I think you can start with letting go of the water as your hand passes your hip.
Okay.
And not worrying so much about the finish of your stroke. If you guys can see me now, as my hand comes past my hips, I will actually turn my hand a little bit and lead out again with the elbow. I don't need.
So you don't finish super strong with a big.
I don't need this when I'm working on a faster tempo. I will let go at the bottom third of the stroke. I want to give up the least impactful part of the stroke to increase my tempo because something's got to give, right?
Everyone always talks about the big finish, right? Yeah. Big finish, go faster. Like it feels good to you. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it feels good. It looks good too.
Yeah,
but it won't help you move your hands faster.
And why is that? Because you were talking earlier about hands in front of your head.
Mm-hmm. That's where you want to hold the water.
Why is that?
Because the better you hold the water, the better opportunity you're going to have to move your body past your hand. And this is something that we talk about at every camp, that we want to reframe how you think about swimming in terms of I move my hands past my body. Well, we'd like you to change that, just the mental framework of it. Thinking to yourself, I want to move my body past my hand.
Okay.
Because when you look at the best swimmers, even here, if you go real slow, look. So my left hand is entering the water right at this. Can you show the white buoy there? Okay.
Right
now
there?
we go. Yep. So it's right there, and we'll see where it exits the water. Okay. So as my hand exits the water,
we were back.
Oh, we're about a foot in front of where it entered the water.
So you're exiting further than
where you're entering. How is that possible? Well, you do have inertia and forward momentum, and you have other propulsive activities going on, but it shows that you hold the water.
Okay.
You're not slipping.
Isn't the analogy we use at camp is like pretend you're on a ladder, right?
Yes.
You hold on to the ring of the ladder and you don't move your hand past your body. You move your body past your hand. You're bringing your body up. Past.
Yeah.
I don't go on ladders.
Mime.
Yeah. You guys.
So I think that's a good demonstration. And you look at the best swimmers in the world. You know, here I am. I'm coming out more than a foot ahead. And if I really work on it, I can get, 2 feet. You know, you look at, if you ever have the opportunity to go look at Michael Phelps swim, Ian Thorpe, he did this awesome. Grant Hackett. These are all Olympic gold medalists, world record holders, right? They're coming out of their hand is exiting the water 4-5 feet ahead of where it entered the water.
That's impressive.
It's really impressive to watch and see. And you'll see it in the Olympics when we have Tokyo 2021, but there's also YouTube. You can go check it out.
What's the YouTube?
Just YouTube their name. Use Google. It's a powerful tool on the interwebs.
He took me serious.
Um,
He's being serious. All right. All right. Do you have anything else on the progression right now that you
I think this is where we start with the progression. I think we can show full swimming here. Let's go a couple clicks.
Oh, clicks.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get that ugly thing off your face.
There. Okay. You'll notice both hands are in front of the head at a certain point.
Look there. One goggle in, one goggle out.
There you go. And what we talked about too, I don't know if it made it into this conversation, but we talked about the bow wake at the crown of your head.
Yeah.
Just like a boat will make a wake that comes off of it. And there's a hole right here, a void rather. That's where you can get air. And you'll see here, as you progress slowly forward, boom, it's right there. Boom. Both hands are in front of the head.
Yeah, I could see in your mouth. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I actually hold water better on one side than the other. Here, oh, look at that. Did you see that one?
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, look, both hands are in front of the head as I swim. I think I hold the water better with my right arm than my left arm. I like that position.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks good.
Oh, that's with fins. That's why it looks so good.
He's still doing a little left hand dipsy do. You guys see that? He's dipsy doing with his left.
Yeah.
Dipsy doing.
High five. Yep.
All right.
Okay. So
real quick, if you guys have any questions on what we just talked about and you jot them down, you could throw them in the chat and we'll answer them now or later.
let's do that now.
You want to do a couple quicks?
No, let's I'd like you guys to engage with us a little bit by going into the chat box now. If you can figure out how to do it and you have any questions, whether that they have come up before or not, I don't think this is a relevant time to do it. We're going to segue into a rapid fire here, but this is a good way to go through it. Daniel, do you see any that come up to you?
Yeah. So real quick, and you answered this, but people want to know, is it okay to bend in your knee when you kick?
Sure, absolutely. Again, you want to have the kick start from mid-thoracic level and extend all the way through your thighs. And so you're going to get like hip flexor engagement and you're going to get glute engagement on your kick. But if you're super stiff, I don't know if this conversation made it into this video, but we talked before about how bikes are looking so much cleaner in Hawaii.
Yeah.
How to improve. The easiest way to get faster on the bike is
get a better bike.
Reducing drag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the easiest way to get better in swimming is reducing drag. So that's where a really wide kick will be a little bit counteractive, but if it is helping you with propulsion or balance, there's a reason and a rhyme for it.
The reason though why you hear a lot of coaches say narrow kick is because you're not kicking from the hip and up here, you're only kicking from below the knee. Or
you're a really bad kicker and it's not helping your cause. Yeah. So why spend so much time and energy and effort into something that's really not helping you get faster?
Well, and also a lot of swim coaches,
like you look at there's some really bad kicking out there.
Yeah. Well, but so this is the other thing. A lot of swim coaches, right, wrong, or indifferent, think the kick is the cause of the problem. When you see a bad kick, it's usually a symptom of a problem. So think about your balance, right? And we talk about this. If you split your swim stroke, like your body in half. Yeah, he likes that too. Let the dogs out. If you split your body in half and you start moving your chin away, no one wants me to talk today. Away from your head and your hips start sinking.
Yes,
you're gonna start kicking wider and bigger to balance yourself back out. Or if you're off to one side too much, you're gonna kick wider to balance yourself back out. Yes. So a lot of coaches you got to fix your kick to get better. It's actually got to fix your balance or your timing, and your kick will automatically get better.
Because you'll find yourself less splayed.
Yes.
In terms of if I have, I'm swinging out wide with my hand, and I need that counter. It'll be my left arm. My counter is my right leg.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Exactly.
So you'll see that split will actually happen higher up in your groin, and to help you with the balance, whereas bending at the knee to help you kick is perfectly perfectly fine. And actually, when you slow motion the fastest humans in the water, they have a huge discrepancy in terms of the knee bend. They're significantly bending their knees.
All right, we got a few more questions.
All right, hit me.
People want to know what's the 3-3-3 drill that we
Okay.
just went over. Can
Yep.
you give it a quick synopsis real quick?
Yeah, 3-3-3 drill is a slow progression from kicking on your side, one arm swimming. The next drill is 3-3-3, where you breathe 3 to your right, transition 3 strokes, then 3 to your left.
And the
The
way
longer pool you have, the more opportunities you have to go 3 right, transition, 3 left, transition, 3 right, transition.
and there
3
might be a little confusion because the way we showed it today, which is another variation of it, is 3 single arms, transition.
That's what I mean by 3 right. 3
Okay.
left.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's
That's
not
probably-
just 3 breathing on the side. It's
Yeah.
3.
3 right hand
This one.
strokes.
Yes.
3, and then so it's 1, 2, 3, and then it's 1, 2, 3 together, and then you start counting on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Fair enough. I didn't explain that properly.
And then this is another question that I thought you were going to allude to earlier when we asked. Do you ever use a tempo trainer to help with tempo and speed?
I was going to, and
Yeah.
I got sidetracked. It's a great question.
Yeah.
And 100%. I have a tempo trainer. So again, how can we learn from the experts? What can we learn from other people who excel at what they do? And when you look at a great open water swimmer, what's their tempo? Doesn't matter how tall they are and how tall they swim. They can still have a high tempo, right? So for me, I'm aiming for 1.5 tempo.
That's fast.
How about you?
I'm like 1.65.
Really?
Yeah, about that.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but you know it.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you know it?
I measured it and counted it, and I use a tempo trainer.
Okay.
But I don't use it all the time
Uh-huh.
because that would be exhausting.
It's exhausting. And boy, is it mentally just,
Yeah.
it will brain fry you.
Yeah.
Because it's this,
You know when I like using it the most?
it's just in your ear. And if you get off the beat, off the rhythm, your hand gets further in the stroke. And how do you measure your tempo, Daniel?
Every way you want, but I do touch to touch.
Okay.
So entry to entry.
So left hand, then right hand, left hand.
No, I just do one hand. So you
Good.
pick a hand and you say, all right, right hand entry. So every time right hand hits the water, I want to hear the beep. I want to hear the beep. I want to hear the beep.
Good. Now, what if you don't want to spend $55 on the tempo trainer? What's a good way for you to measure your tempo?
Stopwatch.
Great.
You just need a friend. You need
Have
a friend.
love them or not. But you can get a friend time, and it'll be right hand entry to right hand entry or left hand entry to left hand entry. Whatever it is, you just have to have continuity and consistency to what you're measuring.
Yeah, and just like everything, it's not where you start that matters, it's where you finish. If you can get to 1.7, you're looking good.
Yes.
Yeah, like any 1.7, 1.75 and down, oh, you're looking real good.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the longer arms you have, it is harder. But you look at some of the best swimmers in the world, they're in the 1.4 to 1.7 range.
Yeah. All right, so we got 2 questions that are similar in a way. One person has a rib injury, so they're having problems holding on to the top of their stroke.
That hurts.
And another person wants to know what are the best stretches or dry land work for swimming to really help with these things in range of motion. You want to dive in because he loves stretching and loves talking about it. So you want to dive in?
So I think let's start with the first one, the rib injury. Yeah, it hurts. When you injure your rib or your intercostals, you'll find that it hurts to just breathe. And breathing is one of the core tenets that we talked about at the beginning. You are in a weight supported environment, and I would work on the exhale and just a slow stretch as you progress through it. Things will heal. You will get better, but start from a good point and just do what you can. Don't overextend to re-aggravate anything, but I think you just go to a good stretch, not stretch till it hurts.
Exactly.
And then for the next question, what was it again?
Dry land.
Oh, yeah.
Dry land activities or exercise to help with range of motion.
Sure. At camp, what we use is stretch cords when we
Yes.
have the opportunity and the real estate to do it. And I love stretch cords. And you can work on tempo with stretch cords. And the way I count my tempo, you don't even need a friend for this. You just need a clock that's visible, right? So if it's 30 seconds and I want a 1.5 tempo, I look to pull the stretch cord 45 times.
Okay. That was really good math.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
You've done it before. I don't know.
No, is that right?
Yeah, it's right. Let's move on.
Okay. Well, so no, 15 times.
Dude, you're dwelling. That's something
Okay,
you need to.
No, it's 1 point. You have to do it 1.5 times
Yes.
per.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30,
yeah.
45.
Yeah.
Yes.
So no, is that right?
Yes, it's
Did I
right.
do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can time it on the clock and then work on your technique with a stretch cord. And I love a stretch cord, especially because it emphasizes that top third, most important real estate, most important part of your stroke. It really emphasizes it. So that's a great dry land skill and tool to have. And then as for stretching, I like one arm swings. I like or single arm swinging, crossing in front. Leaning on the wall to stretch your lats, all that stuff. You actually have a really good progression.
Yeah, so I got you. I got you for this one. So back in 2008, back in the day, we were at Philadelphia Triathlon at St. Joseph's College, and we were doing a pre-race swim. And Andy,
I think their pool is 25 meters.
It is 25. It's super awkward.
Yeah, it was like, God, why am I so slow?
Yeah, and so Andy's looking at me, and we're stretching, and he goes, "Dude, you have zero flexibility." And I said, "Yes, I do."
Hi.
Yeah, hi, I'm Daniel.
Hey,
nice to meet you. Yeah. And so he said, "Listen, the only thing you need is a doorway," is what he said. He goes, "Forget everything else. You need a doorway." And he showed me 3 or 4 stretches where I go in a doorway. I start my hands up high and try and just lean on it as much as I could. And I progressively bring my hands down more and more, and I try and stand more and more forward. And that really helped a lot. And it's really simple to do. The other thing you do with stretch cords is my progression. I do it after most things, and we've done it at camp for anyone that's been, is I do I's, Y's, T's, and then back upside down V's. And I'll do about I'll start off at 20 seconds each, and I'll do 3 rounds, and I'll get up to like a minute each.
Yep.
And as I go, I step further and further away from the stretch cord. The stretch cord's anchored behind you in that situation.
Yeah, you're really working on stretching the lateral pec, deltoid, all this shoulder complex up front.
You don't want to get the inside of the pec for me?
all this forward, the anterior shoulder complex can be tight if you don't stretch.
Yeah. All right.
It's super important for swimming.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to do one more question.
Okay.
And then we're going to jump to something else.
Super fun.
We're like rocking, spending a lot of time with you guys. We're here for as long as you guys need. Don't worry. Someone asked, what is, when you look in the training peaks of the workouts, what does M, R, PS mean? Which W would be warm up. PS would be preset. PUS is actually pull set. MS is main set. R is rest.
Yep.
But that makes me ask you, and we talked about it earlier, I'm not sure which section, what is a great structure for week for swimming and for a workout? Like, do you just go out and swim? Like, are you just going out and swimming long and hard as you can go?
When I look at the structure of a work week, and we talked about this in the preliminary when we were having technical difficulties with a track workout, but and running like elite marathoners, you said the elite marathoners have two quality sessions a week, and they're running over 100, 120 miles a week. If you're looking at, people are trying to break the world record in a marathon.
Exactly.
Sub 2. So I think that you can take a lot of that and apply it to swimming.
Yes.
I think swimming is a feel sport, and this is going to lead into it, but Daniel, I need to ask you, how many times a week should you be swimming?
So 3 times a week to maintain.
Yep.
4 times for some gains.
For gains.
Good gains.
Yep.
5 times getting some.
If you can swim 5 times a week, you're gonna see gains early and often.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And 6, woo, let's get it.
Yeah.
So I'd say again, 3 maintain, 4 gains, 5 get some, 6 let's go pro.
Right. Okay. I like that progression. So when I look at that type of schedule, right now I'm trying to swim anywhere between 4 and 5 times a week.
Okay.
I will target one day for a little bit snappier speed work.
Okay.
Also, it's less daunting on my mind because I just put my head down and go as quick as I can, and I don't worry about making intervals or making rest or even how fast I go. I just try to go as fast as I can. It's maximal effort type of experiences.
Exactly.
2 of the other workouts will be they're pretty high stress in terms of low rest, high cardiac output, longer intervals.
So what kind of work to rest ratio are you looking for?
Work to rest ratio will start at 6-1 and build to 18-1. Pretty stressful.
So that's like 18-1. That's like 800 with 20 seconds rest.
Yeah, like 30 seconds rest.
That's about right.
Yeah, 20 to 25 seconds
Look
rest.
Look at that math.
Yeah, on an 800. That's kind of where I am right now.
Yeah.
If I get 30 seconds rest off of a 600, that's maximal rest for me right now.
Exactly.
In terms of what I'm doing.
And then how are you gauging your effort level during that? Like, is it all out all the time? Is it like super pushed? Is it by feel? Are you only looking at your pace?
I do look at my pace a lot. I think a lot of it is determined by how I'm going that day. I use the first round or the first set or the first interval to say, okay, this is where I'm starting. I can get better from here, but this is my starting spot today.
Yep.
And then I progress from there. I think that, I only have one swim a week where I'm just like, I need to touch the water and feel the water and get balanced and get back to the basics.
Yep.
But every other time I'm touching the water, it's very purposeful. Okay. Even the easy
swim.
Splash.
It's super purposeful.
It's definitely has a purpose.
Feel.
Yeah. So I'd say you can squeeze in one more workout a week that is high intensity versus an elite marathoner.
Yep.
Because of the non-impact. Maybe if you put in 2 to 3 quality aerobic high level high intensity sets and then with a sprint set and then one cruiser day 5 days a week. Yeah, that's a full week.
All right, so we got a sprint set.
Yep.
We got a cruiser set. Feel. We got, I would call it like a threshold, sub-threshold set.
Yep.
More or less.
The threshold.
Yeah. So 3 thresholds.
Yeah.
More or less. But the way I like.
But the thresholds will be the work to rest ratio is manipulated.
Yes. So one of the things I like to throw in for one of those thresholds, and you can give them feedback because I've never told you this when we don't swim together, is I do more of a continuous set. So it might be like a 2000, but it's broken up where I swim 2000 straight, but I'm making the work part longer every 200. So maybe it's like 175 easy, 25 hard. And then I progress through.
Sure. Or I do a 200, 400, 600, 800, get faster as you go.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
Yep. But nowadays I'm doing things like 200, 400, 600, 800, 800, 800, 800, 600, 400.
I already forgot what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, that sounds good. We have more questions and we're going to get there.
Okay.
But I want to move on.
Let's do the next session.
All right. Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
We had one athlete submit a video for us to take a look at.
Wonderful.
So Lisa, thank you for submitting a video. I appreciate it. It was the only one I got. I'm going to go to it and we're going to do a little review. One, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
It's right here. One piece of advice when you submit videos for everyone, try and tell whoever films you to get you from the side or directly from the front. Directly from the side, directly from the front, and don't zoom in so much that we can't see your whole body.
Okay.
All right, fair? All right, that's for the future. But for now, did I pick the right thing? Which one do you see? Oh, I see, Brian. You see Lisa?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, here we go, Lisa.
All right.
Here we go, Andy. Good push off.
Okay, yeah, I love the push off. Hands are wide. Okay, when we talked about swimming before, about swimming on your tummy, she's doing a lot of tummy swimming and not working on rotation. I wonder if she has a right shoulder injury from previous years, and her ability to really reach with the right hand. And so she should be rotating. See how she's super flat right here? What I'd like to see her do is really drive that right hip and right shoulder down. Drive that down to so you get really good hip depth, right? She's driving better with the left-hand side. See how see how her left hip and left shoulder disappear?
Go back.
I see what's happening.
Okay.
So
we're going to get real close so we can see.
All right, go ahead and pause. All right.
There.
All right. So you can see when, Lisa, when you're swimming flat Your head is down and it is in a neutral position. When you have your best rotation is when you're rotating to breathe. And what I'd like you to do is try to accentuate the rotation and just sneak the head in and rotate the chin a little bit to breathe. But you should always have good hip depth and rotation. And you're only sneaking in the breath when you can. The rhythm and the timing of the breath can remain the same, but I'd like for you, instead of flattening out, then rotate to breathe, then flatten out, then rotate to breathe, I'd like you to have this continuous rotation, and it will be, your stroke will have more fluidity.
What do you think about our hand entry?
Left hand?
Yeah.
Looks good.
Good, great,
Yep.
right? Let's see it right.
Super clean.
Yeah.
Right hand is already entering the water as it's coming to the head.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what prompted did she injure her right shoulder
Yes.
comment. Her hand comes in awfully early, and this could be a result of a flat swim stroke
Or an injury.
because she's not driving the left hip and left shoulder. So she doesn't have as much mobility in her shoulder to articulate it. So when she's flat, the hand enters too early. But when she rotates completely, she gets a good extension on her right arm.
Let's talk about timing. Because we talked about
Those
that.
hands look good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yep. See, I really like
left looks great.
I really like what you're doing, Lisa, with your rotation when you're breathing.
Yeah.
I'd like to try to do one goggle in, one goggle out, less dramatic, but you're going to breathe towards us right here. Here you go. Look at that reach. Okay. See how you have both goggles out? Okay. I think you might be a little nervous that the pocket's there. It's there. I'd like to see you put your chin down just a little bit, but I really like what you're doing with your left hand a lot. And both hands, look at that, both hands in front of the head. That was good. And you could see as she rotated the breathe, it could be the shoulder entry.
Yeah.
And see how the hand is entering a little too early? I'd have to check her mobility on that one.
Exactly.
So.
All right. So all in all, pretty good.
Yep.
Let's work on.
Work on
Go.
Entering higher with the right hand.
Yeah, if we can.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, just getting a little bit of rotation. So driving that left hip down a little further.
Exactly.
Sound good? Awesome sauce.
Thank you, Lisa.
Appreciate it. All right. So next up, we have something that's a little fun or I don't know if it's fun, but it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Keep it brief.
Yeah.
Get you guys on your way.
Yeah. We're super lucky here. If you didn't know, this is the most affordable and most best masterclass there is around. And we're able to do that because we have really good partners and friends in triathlon. And they don't even just like us. They like you guys too.
I do.
And so what they're going to give away, every week we're going to give away stuff. And it's always going to be surprising. It's going to be one thing. Sometimes it'll be like 10 things.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember at the beginning when we asked you to have this be a two-way street in terms of entering things in the chat box? Well, we're actually going to go back to it and use it as our resource for this rapid fire section.
Exactly. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask Andy a bunch of questions, rapid fire, boom, 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 boom. But I'm going to give you enough time. So it's maybe not boom, boom. It's like a 3 count on the tempo trainer. All right. So you could throw in the chat real quick what you think the answer is. And once I say boom, Brian's going to cut it off because he's going to put a comment in and we'll know that's the last one. And then we're going to award some prizes in an email after we're done. What do we have for a prize today, Andy?
Our prize today is courtesy of
Hyperice.
Hyperice. And it is, wrong way.
A Hypervolt.
A Hypervolt, brand new, out of the box. I'm going to turn this guy. You want to turn that on?
Yeah, sure. I got it. I can hold it if you like.
Percussion massager, self massager. You can turn it on.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it feels good.
Yeah.
So
they're awesome.
I don't know about you guys, but I heard a
they
lot more now than ever before. And you
older-
got to use stuff to
You're getting
to
older
recover.
every day, Daniel.
And this is true.
It feels great when you do it with yourself, or you can have someone else play along.
That's a little too much info for this podcast. Thank you, though, Andy. Don't tell him the secrets. All right.
So this is what we're giving away, and we will.
All right. So get your keyboards ready or your thumbs. And these are going to be questions you might not even know the answer to. Okay. I don't even know, but we're going to take a guess here. Okay, here we go. Question 1 for Andy Potts. Don't answer till I say boom. Okay. Who does Andy think his toughest competitor ever was in the sport? Best battles, went to the line every time. We'll accept one or two different answers. Ready, go. And we are cutting it off in 5, 4, 3, 2. I don't like nicknames. 1. Brian's phone hit the X. Andy, who was your toughest competitor ever?
Oh, geez, this is putting me on the spot. I thought you were going to give me a little prep on these questions.
No, absolutely not.
All right, toughest competitor ever. I faced a lot of really great competitors in the day. You know who was really tough? Bevan.
Doherty?
Bevan was super tough.
He's a fighter.
Yeah,
he's a fighter, Bevan.
I will give Hunter a ton of credit. He was
Yeah.
a super competitor. As Hunter Kemper. Matt Reed had some great battles with Matt
So I just need one name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just one.
You know, I raced against Craig a lot, and I'd say Craig Craig Alexander, otherwise known as Crowy. We've had a ton of races together.
Yeah.
Maybe we're 50-50 on the tail of the tape.
You've taken him to the line a few times, though.
I have. Craig can't get me a sprint, so I'll definitely take him to the into the chute because I've got a great picture. I wish I had it for you guys. Maybe I'll show it next time.
Yeah, don't tell because I think that's going to lead to the next question I got.
Okay.
What is Andy's favorite race not named Alcatraz?
Are you going to play the music or no?
Well, I'm not. This time I'll just like throw things out there. Like,
Okay.
I don't know.
I did like
Timberman, Coeur d'Alene, Adventure Race in Copper Mountain. That was a good one.
All right. So,
and wait, you want to talk a little bit first because you're going to say
yeah,
like three. Say your other ones first.
Sure. I've raced around the world, and I find that each culture will have something different and something unique about it. I do enjoy racing down in South America.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah, it is really nice vibe. So I love racing down in South America. I think in terms of Ironman racing, the really iconic spots like Coeur d'Alene is just beautiful. Ironman Lake Placid combines two things for me that are really unique and special in my life. That's Ironman and the Olympics. Yeah. So that was kind of awesome. I carried a torch there one year.
That's kind of cool.
Totally awesome.
I'm going to cut you off. Boom, Brian. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Andy, now what is the race?
And this is something that we gravitate. You gravitate towards you excel. I really like Oceanside.
It's a pretty good race.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good race.
It used to be called Ralph's. Then it was transferred into Ironman 70.3 California. And now I believe it's called Ironman 70.3 Oceanside.
Or the other way around.
Oceanside 70.3.
Yeah. What do you like so much about it besides winning there?
Yeah, I've won there a few times.
Didn't you take Craig to the line there too?
I did. It brings out some really good things to me. It's a little cooler temperature, and I'm a bigger boy, so I feel like I can race really nicely there. It's an early season indicator. Yeah. It usually tells me a good litmus test, like how my winter went.
What are you pushing, like 5'11" now?
Height?
Yeah. 5'11".
A little taller.
Okay, just checking. It's hard when I'm looking down at you all the time.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Next one.
Okay.
You guys are on the tape. You don't understand that one. Okay. This is a tech question.
Okay.
Techity tech. Okay. In terms of bikes, we talked about them before. What is the best bike upgrade you can get? Everyone, hit it.
All right. So best bike upgrade, I look at, how to get faster. We talked about reducing drag, how to get faster. You can look at the things I look at are the bike frame.
Okay.
I look at my helmet.
Okay.
I look at my wheels.
Okay.
And then I start to get a little bit more nitpicky.
Yeah.
Tires.
Okay.
Derailleurs.
And boom.
Di2 or like electronic.
So what's your number one? What's number one?
Number one actual thing that I think is the biggest upgrade you can get. It's actually on our table today.
Really?
It's an ISM saddle.
For the bum.
For your bum. And do you know why?
Because it's really comfortable.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you're comfortable, you can go fast.
Yeah. And the other reason?
Is it puts you actually in a better position, more aggressive position in a time trial, on a time trial bike. You can move it, they cut off the nose. so you can move forward on it, and you're more advanced in a better power position.
So what he's saying is you personally can rotate on the bike. You know, they always talk about rotating forward a little more, getting a little lower, and rotating the hips position doesn't change, the angle, but you change. And so that's the reason why this is probably the best thing out there.
Which saddle?
Oh, this is the PS 1.1.
Yep.
We'll be giving one of these away too. So get some.
Yeah, but this is like, so I will actually move really far north on the on the nose of it, and it makes it so my hip tilt. So you have like this position here, and it's usually fixed because you don't want to have it be too tight where you're cinching down on your hips. So it keeps your open position, but you actually tilt it forward.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We've had a lot of debates about this question, and we've both come to the realization that most of the things we thought were best upgrades are mandatory upgrades at this point. Like a power meter, pretty much mandatory upgrade. It is mandatory. Electronic shifting on a TT bike.
That's a big upgrade.
Probably mandatory. It's close.
It's getting there.
It changes the way you ride a bike. Not as much when you race, but when you train.
Yep.
And you train a lot more than you race.
Yep.
So it makes a difference. Bike fit, that's a given.
Yep.
So, and wheels and everything else, like those are nice.
Yep.
And good to have. Helmet, that's the cheapest upgrade you can make.
Yep.
Unless you have our discount on Vision products. Boom. All right. Okay. I got two more here. You ready?
Ready.
Actually, it's three. We're going to dive into the swim.
Okay.
What is Andy's, and you guys will definitely not know this. I probably don't even know it. What is your favorite or best first thing you think about swim memory?
Okay.
Best swim memory.
I've been swimming a long time. Lots of different places, lots of different water. You know, swimming tributaries, rivers, pools, oceans, lakes,
boom,
ponds.
I boomed it. Okay. You're out. Give them the best.
Best swimming memory. I was 16 years old, and it was in Gainesville, Florida, at the pool. It was at the Stephen O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida.
Okay.
And it was winning junior nationals, breaking the national junior record, and being ranked #1 in the world as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. No, do you know? Can I tell?
It's pretty solid.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Get some.
And that was kind of my introduction to like, I can do really special things as a swimmer, and maybe it can open doors for me.
You know, it's funny. I was going to ask you when you knew you had it, but that was it.
That race.
Can I tell you my favorite swim memory?
It was shocking. Like I was shocked. I was like, I didn't know it.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Do you mind if I tell you my favorite swim memory of you?
Of me?
Yeah, of you. No, not mine. No, of you.
How about you grinding out 8,000 yards a day?
It was
6,000 yards a day trying to teach yourself how to swim.
Oh, we didn't tell him that.
I know.
Yeah. So
kind of awesome.
Yeah. Quick aside, I got into triathlon because I was working, didn't know what I was doing, and I needed something, like most of you. And my roommates were like, "Hey, you should do a triathlon. It'll make you feel better as a person." Why? I don't know, but fun. So I went to this triathlon with these guys, and I didn't know what I was doing. I borrowed a bike. I remember showing up at the registration desk because it was like check-in that morning. It's pool swim, and I was like, "Hey guys, I want to run first. Then I'm gonna bike, and then I'm gonna swim."
Tell them.
And they're like, "No." I'm like, "No, that order is better for me. I'll do it that way. It'll be fine. We all go at different times. I'll keep my time on my watch. We're good." And they're like, "No." Turned out I won that race, and they didn't believe that I won it because I won by so much. And it was like a 28-minute race, and I won by like 3-4 minutes. It was pretty wild. And then I won another one, and I was like, I got to do this. And I got worked. Like, I was like, I'm going pro. I'm the best ever. And I got worked because people know how to swim. And I was like, I got to learn how to swim. So I was like, I'm going to teach myself. So being the obsessive compulsive person I am, I went to Georgetown, where I coached soccer at the time. And I swam 6K every day for 365 days in a row. And at the beginning, it took like 2.5 hours. It was really bad. And then progressively got better and faster and faster. And then I started swimming with the Masters team there. Then I started swimming with the actual team. Like I
Nice.
started with the women's team. Like I would only go to their single practices, and then I went to the women's and the men's team.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super fun. But that was the story.
Yeah.
All right. Last question.
Look, you never told me what your favorite memory of me
Oh, you want to hear about yourself? I get it. It's all about Andy. No.
Well, you can tell me
I know.
later.
No, I'll tell you.
Because I'm
I'll tell you.
curious.
Cap Tex Triathlon.
Oh yeah, sure.
2012, I want to say that was about, or 10? No. When were the games?
12.
Yeah, it was 2012 then.
Okay.
I'm watching the race, and Andy's swimming, and a kayaker gets in the way of the lead group.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "You guys are going the wrong way." Oh, everyone stops. Everyone's like, "You're going the wrong way." Andy goes, "No, I'm not. I know where I'm going. You don't have a clue." He swims under him and goes. The rest of the field stops, goes the other way. He's the only one that went the right way. He won the race because of it.
Yeah, and they ended up like there was a petition. They're like, "You cheated." I was like, "Well, I did the whole course. I can't stop you from doing more.
Yeah.
If you want to do more than the course, that's your prerogative." I did what was asked.
And yeah, it's my favorite memory because you had conviction in what you knew, and you were prepared for the day. You knew what you had to do.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite memories.
Thank you.
All right, last one. Or you can give two answers for this one, and this might be yours too, because I know I have mine. What's your biggest pet peeve in triathlon?
In triathlon.
In triathlon.
Okay. I would love to see
on the spot. I
would actually love to see your responses.
Lisa's wife just said everything.
So I'd love to see your responses in terms of triathlon, like pet peeves. And there's some really small, like I find them quirky things. I don't actually mind them with in terms of like
give it to him. The top one.
The top pet peeve.
Yeah, give me one or two. Do you want me to answer this one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
This one's tough.
He's so politically correct. I believe there is nothing wrong with triathlon. No. So here's my two.
Okay.
I'm going to give you two. Number one is people think they can go pro after doing one race. It bothers me all the time.
Oh, that they actually go pro? Or
no, they think they can.
Okay.
Like, oh, if I could just train more, I could be a professional triathlete. I think it discredits how good these guys are and how good they are in the sport. It really upsets me because the guys that are pros, the real pros, are exceptional, and we should give them a little more respect that way. The other one is the I'm too cool for school triathlon attitude. Like, yeah, I do triathlon. I'm so cool and I go fast.
I don't mind that. They're happy. They're proud.
No, come on. Like, at the end of the day, it's an awesome sport. Yeah. And it's awesome to get outside, do awesome stuff, have fun. I don't care if you're fast or slow and different. Let's just all go out and grind and like be the best people we can be. Like people.
Okay,
I have to put other people down for it. You got one?
I got one.
All right, this is the answer if you put it out there.
All right. It bothers me that people shave their legs on a weekly basis. Like, if you want to shave your legs for a race, do it for the race. You don't need to shave every Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I feel like this should only be for guys like that.
Yeah, for guys.
Okay. Like, thanks.
You don't need to shave your legs all the time.
But I like the way it feels.
I know.
It's easier to keep them shaved.
Yeah,
it probably is. But yeah, I'm like,
all right. You're just a hairy, manly man.
I am.
All right. Okay, cool. That was rapid fire. We're gonna go through all your answers and we're gonna pick a winner, and you will find out. You'll get a nice Hypervolt from Hyper Ice. Prizes coming every week, multiple prizes some weeks. So you're gonna have to stay tuned to the end. Sorry.
Percussion massage and
ISM.
An ISM saddle.
Dopey dope.
Coming your way. So we got two winners this week. This is our biggest upgrade on a bike. And this is probably the understated recovery, which we'll have a whole session on recovery.
Yes.
During the seminar.
All right. So we talked a lot about the technical and about the swimming and the mechanics, right? I think the last thing we need to talk about is like part of triathlon and everything in life is physical, but part's mental too. Yeah, it's what happens between the ears that makes you successful or not. So I actually want to cede the floor to you, Mr. President, and let you talk to them a little bit about what happens between the ears, because I obviously have no business doing that. I'm crazy.
That's not true.
I know. I'm only kidding. But so why don't you hit us up a little bit at what
Okay.
happens between the ears?
Yeah. So I think, like I talked about before when you asked me one of my proudest swimming moments, sometimes you have to see it to believe it. Sometimes you have to feel it to believe it. And sometimes you have to think it before it comes into reality. And that power of belief is crazy strong. But if you think that you don't have a chance, and you think that you you didn't work hard enough, well, guess what? You don't have a chance, and you didn't work hard enough because you've already planted that seed in your mind. And I think when you look at the power of the mind, the ability to visualize, put our bodies into a heightened state before we're actually in the physical state, it's a very, very powerful organ that we've got. And it's not something that you show up on race day and just expect to be strong in the mind. You have to do it and continually work on it on a daily basis, hourly. You asked me before to come up with 3 things I think about, and it's a constant cycle. I don't have a top 3. I have a top 3,000. I'm always thinking about things. I'm always thinking about ways to be better, ways to be stronger, ways to be faster, ways to be a better person. It's this constant evolution of how can I be better at what I do, so it makes me better at who I am in terms of how I treat other people. You have to believe it first, and you have to work on it on a daily basis. Give yourself a chance and try to put yourself in a positive mindset. And you do that with conviction, but also through trial and error, because it's not going to work every time. You're not going to be Captain Positive every moment of the day. So you can start small and let it grow from there. Take the little victories as they come. But when the victories do come, believe that it was because of your hard work. And you can pass it on to other people. You can share it with other people. But you first have to be willing to work hard yourself and put yourself out on a limb. If you want to achieve great things, you have to be willing to work for the great things in the small moments. So, and that starts with a positive attitude, a can-do attitude over little things, and it'll hopefully snowball for you and grow from there. It doesn't happen overnight, but you can get better at it. Just like you can get better at swimming, biking, and running, anything physical, you can do the same things, if not more, with your mind.
That was pretty well said, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. So that wraps us up for the day.
Yep.
We kept you longer than expected. We will make sure we don't do that in the future. We'd like you to stew on what we talked about a bit. And if you have questions, we'll put out a forum so you guys can ask questions at any time, or you can email us, and we'll make sure we hit them up at the beginning of next session.
Okay.
We'll send out all the videos as well. And if anything else comes out, just ask us, because we're here to figure this out and make it great for you, with you. Sound good?
Sounds great. Until next week, we will see you then. If you've got questions for us, hit us up.
Deuces.
Peace.